How we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy with It. I'm Mo, and today we're opening up one of my newest Kickstarter games that just got delivered, today, and that is Scarface 1920. So, of course, we're going to get into this game, see all the beautiful minis, and then try to put it all back inside the box. Some people are having some issues on BGG, and, well, in the Kickstarter comments. It does look like it will all go back in, however, sleeving, and if you get all the deluxe components, you might need to do a little bit of reworking, and there is a couple posts, I think, on BGG where somebody actually got it all to work, minus the game board. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and flip over the camera, and we will get into the box. All right, so we are the only upgrades that we got. We do have the Enforcers expansion, so this actually was a freebie. It was part of the campaign. The Paperboy, he was part of the campaign as well. But I did go ahead and get the deluxeified tokens, markers for where places are on the map. So of course we'll have to figure out how these will fit efficiently in here. I have seen them on the BGG forums, and you can get some of them fit, but not all of them. But I didn't upgrade the money. I don't know. I just didn't feel like plastic money felt right. So I've got the regular cardboard money. I did already open it, kind of got it organized to make sure that I know how to put it all back in here. But here we go. This is Scarface 1920. So this is kind of like a economic area control, thugs and gangsters back in the day, back in 1920. We got 1 to 4 players, 90 to 150 minutes, 14 plus, although, you know, theme being what it is. I would flip this over. I guess we could flip it over, see how well everything that I repacked stays in there. So you guys can see the back. And there is the back. Oh, I put the box lid back on correctly. So you have 4 different factions. Each one of them has like a unique boss. Your game board here. Regin, Big Child Creative, GameTrayz. Big Child really was excited for when they did it because they do a real good job with minis. You see them most of the time with their painting, but they actually are a mini company as well. So I was excited when this game was put on Kickstarter. Prohibition has begun. In Scarface 1920, you'll be leading 1 of 4 criminal gangs claiming the throne of Chicago. Build the most powerful gang in the city, expand your criminal empire, crush your enemies, and keep your eyes peeled for the feds. Put yourself in the shoes of a mob boss in this competitive and highly immersive game with asymmetric sides. Hold sway over Chicago with a mix of worker placement, deck building, and area control. So this has all me words written all over it. Asymmetric powers, deck building, worker placement, area control. We've struggled at 2 players, so maybe this one has enough other things that we like where the area control will work out for us. So you can hear all that moving around in there. Let's see how badly that made things move around. All right, inside of the box, there's nothing on the top of the box. Rule book here. So we do have a rule book. Oh, that's nice. So an introduction, Chicago 1920, 18th Amendment, United States. That's nice. So nice flavor text there. We'll read that during our live playthrough. Not going to bore you guys here. Objective, a disclaimer. Scarface 1920 is a game that takes place in a specific time in history of the United States. The bloody power struggle took place to the control of the city of Chicago between 1920 and 1933 during Prohibition. However, we at Reds and Games by no means condone or justify any violence or criminal behavior that may take place in the game of Scarface 1920. That's awesome. And I think that's something other publishers should do or can do to not have to change their game based on things that aren't historically accurate, right? Because I know that happens a lot of times. Sometimes we have to take things out, but I think these nice little disclaimers saying, hey, this is what it is, this is what happens, is a really good thing. Right here, you got a whole lot of text here to read. I'm not going to read that to you guys. Your game components that we're going to go over. Game setup, so nice numbered setup of what you do. No numbers over here though, showing what those things are. Basic concept, so goes over each of the different factions, game icons, basic concepts again, shows you the map and the districts. More basic concepts. So a lot of this is just going over the components. I like that. I like when you get to tell me about the components first, and then tell me about how to play the game. That way I have an idea when you're referencing them, because I've seen it sometimes the other way around where it starts telling you about the game, but then you don't know what's going on because you don't know what any of those components they're mentioning are until later. All right, so game overview. So you take your actions, carry out actions, draw new cards, cards in your hand in your deck or organization, and then it's the next player's turn. Action orders. So lots of examples. This type of game feels like it needs lots of examples. Now, of course, one thing about this rulebook, it is my pet peeve. Stop making huge rulebooks. I get you want to put the examples. Throw in another 5 pages so you can make this rulebook a little bit smaller. Action turns. More action turns. I've skipped about 3 pages there. Resolving actions, reorganization, game end and winner. So game variants, there's a draft variant, and you can customize your deck instead of, I guess, using the ones that are pre-built for you. Glossary is nice. Alphabetical order, that's nice. And then a quick little player aid on the back of the rulebook. Right, there is a solo mode. Nice flavor text again, introduction, overview. Things to consider. So I know it's a whole deck of cards for the solo mode. It looks like you're going against Al Capone. So four board sides. So you flip. I guess it's the back side because I didn't see these in there. So I'm guessing it's the back side of all the boards for your solo mode. I don't know. And this is one thing, and I'd have to read this, is can it be, oh, here we go. Multiple players against the solo. You can add the solo as a player to your 2 and 3 player games and prepare it the same way. Okay, so that might be something we do. We might actually do two gameplays of this, one with and one without, because that's one of the problems with area control is if you don't have that third, and even worker placement, you don't have that third or somebody to compete with the spaces for, it's just not effective, right? So maybe this will help with that. Thanks for making it happen. Nice little thank you from Redzin. Shows you the game exclusive. So these are the exclusives for the Kickstarter. You get a second Scarface figure, 9 additional jobs, 5 cards, 5 dealers, 2 more raid cards. The upgrades, now I guess these are, everybody's going to be getting these from now on because they don't say exclusive. So if you get a retail copy, these were all upgraded during the campaign. So you get custom boards, custom cars. The GameTrayz and the Enforcers were free gifts. But again, it's weird. These are exclusive, so these will probably be sold separately. Enforcers as an expansion separately, and I'm guessing there's no way really to take that out. But that is something nice with the GameTrayz. You can't really see it here. Maybe I can get it a little bit closer. But the actual tray acts as your player board, so you can put everything on your game tray. So I thought that was kind of cool. Here are all the backers' names. We're in here somewhere in the G, and then more names from the backers. All right, so here is the game board. Here is the game board. Whoop. Oh, maybe. Okay, this is a big game board. All right, I'm not gonna be able to get this. Normally I unfold it and put it on the thing, but here's the game board. That is a big game board. It has one more fold out. So yeah, that's pretty big. I mean, I'm zoomed in, but I mean that's a pretty big game board there. Let's see here. Investigation report track on the side. Recruiting actions. Looks like player aid. Underworld. Yeah, news extra. So here's your news track up there at the top. Raids at the top. Whoop. Sorry about that. Hit the microphone. So yeah, big game board. It's kind of neat. Like when I first saw it, I was thinking, you know, it's kind of bland. It's kind of a bland game board, but it's kind of like a city map, so it is kind of thematic. So here are the trays. Like I said, I punched everything out. When you get it, there'll be the punch boards in here. The money goes into these GameTrayz. So I split them in half. You can do it multiple ways. In the BGG thread, they showed them like this. And they do stick over, but the tray lid will still snap on top. I just found it works just fine to do vertical like this, or horizontal. No, horizontal will be like that, vertical, yeah. Vertical like that. It's same thing, it's the lid snaps on. So here are the, I guess we should see it there. So these are the ones. They're pretty good thickness too, like that. I felt like these were good, and it's paper, so I think the cardboard thematically, mentally, that's why I didn't get the plastic upgrades, because I'm like, you know, they should be cardboard. So here are the cardboard ones. So these are the cardboard ones. So they're actually thinner. So the thing is now, if we do this, which I guess I'm going to do while we're at it, we take out the plasticky ones, which, you know, I like We like clinkety clinkities. Wish these were coins, but they are quite a bit thicker. So they're printed real nice. I like that. I do feel like they're a little bit cleaner and crisper in terms of their printing, but not much. But your thickness is dramatically different. So one thing that did change though is these are a little bit smaller, as you can see. So if you put these, you're not going to fit, I think, more than maybe 3 per. Now, I don't know how many you'll need during a game. So that means that the rest of them that you have, you're going to have to put somewhere else in the storage. So one example is like I put the hundreds here and the hundreds in the other one. I could probably condense the hundreds into a single tray. Or technically, there's enough room here. Just throw the extras in there. And what do we got? We got 4 more. So technically, yeah, they all fit if you do like this. It's no big deal, right? Just give these to the player at the beginning. They get, 4 of them at the beginning. Yeah, that works for me. So we'll go ahead and lock that one up. And like I said, when you put that on, they snap in. Everything stays where it should. And we will do the same here. Now this one I did, okay, so I had already combined the 100s in this other one. So actually I need to put some 100s in here. So you only get 4 $100 bills. So you only get 4 $100 bills. Those square tokens I took out, after looking on Board Game Geek, they actually go down in the bottom. I had a hole down there. I didn't know what went down in there. So we'll take these out. Take these out. Do 3 in that one. 3 in that one. Throw those in there. And more of these. Now, they said you can keep both. I don't know. I never keep both the plastic and the cardboard. Maybe that'll come back and bite me one day, but I don't think I've ever needed that quantity to keep both. So there we go. So same thing. Dollars go in here. So I didn't show the other dollars, so I guess I should show those. So here's the 10s, the 5s, the 50s, and then the 100s were down there as well. They're the same on the front and the back. There's no difference. All right, so that will go in like so. That works good. And then these are the barrels and the guns. There is extra room in the guns. I think that's what I saw somebody else do with their extra plastic ones. They just put them in here with the guns because, I mean, the guns are so small in comparison to the barrels. It would have been probably nice if they would have made the guns a little bit bigger, just for cosmetically size reasons. Because I've also heard that, if you did get the crates, which I didn't get, that this is barely filling up those crates. You pretty much, to make it work, you're going to have to put some kind of like foam or something in the bottom of it. And then those are the barrels there. All right. Whoops. And then this is I left this in here just to show you guys. This is the original ring. But of course, the Kickstarter edition, we get the upgraded ring. So I'll probably keep this, or I can probably look up the art online, so I probably don't need to keep that. All right. So that is that one. Put these over here. And all right, so these are the different factions. So once you open them, once you get them, then you can put the rest of the components, of course, in here. So this is your what do I call it? Screen, right? Your hidden screen. So this is the north side mob, and then on the back it does give you some reference total at the end of the game, how much you're going to get for it. Income for each of your businesses. These are so this is your starting deck. So you get Dean O'Bannon as your boss. You got your lieutenant, another lieutenant. So they are a little bit different. Their functions are a little bit different. I don't remember the functions. I've not played the game. I've not read the rules. I haven't played the game yet. And of course, Kickstarter was a long time ago. Bodyguards, underboss, counselor, bookkeeper, and chauffeur. I didn't notice this when I put these together. I was like, how do you know what cards these go with? It actually says on the bottom there. So I didn't know that. I was thinking there would be some mark or the back of the cards would be different, but forgot. Deck building game, back of the cards can't be different. All right. And then for your custom cars, so these were the upgraded cars. So this is the first one. This is your little rum running truck, right? This is where you're smuggling your booze. And then this is your little gangster car for your gang, I guess, to go around. So you get 3 of those, 2 of the other ones. And then the houses, so each one has their own custom houses. So again, just to be expected, like I said, with a Big Child Creative, the detail on these are outstanding. These are your tokens, so your cubes, and then your little token. This was already plastic, so I was thinking that might have been why I decided to get the plastic for the other ones, so it matched this. I don't remember. So here is, I don't remember what these guys are. So this is the first sculpt. You got this guy here, this briefcase. So these are going to be fun to paint. Like I said, lots of detail in these, especially for their size. I mean, there's my thumb. So they're yay big. And then this guy with the shotgun. The guy right here with the shotgun. So, I mean, even the collars, I think there's even detail. Yeah, he's got a tie. Like, I don't know if that's going to be picked up in the screen or not, but yeah, he's got a tie and everything on. All right. So you get 4 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those. Okay. And then the last one is the baseball bat. So you get, well, minus the balls. I'll show you the balls, but there's 4 of each style of your thugs. So in this guy here, he's got like a big baseball bat. Yeah, look at that. I mean, the suspenders, the trousers, so much detail. These are great. And then here's the boss, which matches his art, right? Because that's his art right there. So he's doing probably rye whiskey of some sort. I'd have to look up the history of it now to find out what he actually did. Or I was saying rum running, but that's rum. I don't know why I was thinking rum running. Rum is from the South. I don't think rum was a big deal up in Chicago. All right, so that is the north side. All right, then we got the Chicago outfit. So again, this comes with the extra Al Capone mini. Oh, and I mentioned it, but I was going to show the lid. So if you see here on the lid, you can see how it is going to be. You have trays here for your goods, for your hidden goods. And then this here you can use to stand up your cards. While it is all in great and probably really good in a normal play situation, for me and Odd, that even when we're doing it on stream, probably not going to work so well. But yeah, so you can go like that. It'll hold. Well, once you bend it, it'll hold. But you can bend it and hold it in there. All right. So Al Capone is your boss. Who's the boss? So we got Al Capone, Lieutenant. I should go this way. Your bodyguards. More bodyguards. Underboss. Counselor. The bookkeeper. And the chauffeur. Hit one, I'm guessing, gang member. And one of your gang members or cars +1 for the police track. You may spend 1 gun to repeat the skill immediately. There you go. There's an idea of how some of it plays. All right, so the trucks are all the same. They don't look any different, at least not that I can tell. So I think it's just the cars that are unique for each one. So this is Al Capone's. I don't remember if he drove a Ford. I don't remember. But I was able to get the Al Capone mini in here. Wasn't too difficult. Actually, that works perfect. I didn't even think to put it that way. So this works perfect. So you can fit the extra Al Capone mini in here. In the BGG and the forums, they have them underneath, but I wanted them here. Like, he's going to be played with this set. He's just an alternate mini instead of using this version of Al Capone. Right? Oops. It's not focusing right. There we go. Instead of using him, you can use this other one. So that's the normal one. And instead you can use this one here. So he's just got his guns ablazing, right? But again, just tremendous detail. I mean, even on like the guns, there's just a lot of detail on that. So yeah, he fits perfectly right there. Here is his building. Focus, focus. There we go. So a little... I like it. They're cute little buildings. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to paint. So that's the thing. I'm going to figure out how to paint all of these, so you know the colors work for them. I mean, like these guys are easy, right? Because I just rim the base in that color. But like the houses, I would have to make sure that a major aspect, and the same with the cars, some major aspect of it has to be that color. I guess the cars would be the car's color. The houses, I guess I could paint the primary color on the house though. Although a purple and a green house would not be maybe as accurate as I would like. So here's the guy with the Tommy gun. So that's that guy. And then you got another guy with a Tommy gun, except for he's holding it out. There we go. But again, so much detail. Like you can see the little pieces to his jacket. Same thing, he's got, you can see his tie in there. And then the creases in the back of the jacket. I don't know if I'm going to speed paint these or if I'm going to do a full acrylic, but with speed paint, with as much detail as they have, I think these would come out really good. So we got these guys. Okay, so then this guy, okay, so he's holding his out as well, but he's kind of a bigger dude. So he's a little bit, what is it, Muttley and Jeff? I'm trying to remember, like most time you have like the two bad guys always have the tall skinny guy and the short stocky guy. So that is Al Capone and the Chicago outfit. And like I said, the only thing with putting the mini in here is of course the cards. Oh, there we go, that worked. You just lift the mini up and set the cards in. But even still, I had it there before, and even if the cards are on top of that, it doesn't impact anything. Maybe you could get some warping, but right there I just found that you can actually squeeze that piece right there. So he fits in there fine. This is gonna be one of the easiest reboxings I've ever done because I'm reboxing it as I go. Right, so this is the Black Wolves gang. So Black Wolves gang is right a key. The backs are all the same. So the asymmetric comes from their starting deck versus any like special powers. So you got St. Clair, you got her lieutenants, her bodyguards, the underboss, counselor, her bookkeeper, and then her chauffeur. So beautiful art. That was another thing. The art was outstanding. Love the art in this game. So that's definitely, you know, when you see a campaign and the art's just kind of like meh, or similarly you're looking at it and you're like, that's really not attractive, you know, it's kind of drab, or the colors aren't there, or you get some kind of like mismatch of two or three different styles, because I've seen publishers do that where they will hire different maybe people at certain times during the development to make a piece of art, and rather than just saying, okay, we're not going to use this piece of art, we're going to try to make it all the same, they still use that piece of art. And it can work sometimes. Paradox Initiative, they hire different artists for different aliens, different species, but it worked, right? It didn't distract you from what it is. So here you go. Oh, there you go. Look at that. So if you're a miniature painter, or if you do miniatures and board game miniatures, you watch people talk about painting miniatures, you know, one thing they always talk about is drilling out the barrel of the gun. And Big Child already did. That is crazy, guys. Like that they put that much forethought to drill out the barrel of the gun. I don't even know if I looked at the other guys. But that is the first one. And then you got this guy here with it just slung over his shoulder. Oh, come on, focus on the minis. That's what we're looking at now. But look at that. I mean, just look at the detail on his little thing there. It's just so much detail. And is that one drilled out too? Can I get it to focus in it? Yeah, it looks like it is. No, that one's not. Maybe. Yeah, it is. It's tiny, but yeah, that's drilled out too. I don't know if they manually did that or that was just part of the mold injection kept that drilled out. Yeah, even these little guns. Wow, that is attention to detail. If they make any more games, I'm getting it just for the minis. Because holy cow. Not to say this game's bad. It's been getting very good reviews. And then, of course, a lot of the people that, the previewers that did the content also really liked it. So, and then there she is, the big boss with her gun. And, of course, drilled out. But again, just great details. I mean, just great attention to details. All right, so that is the Black Wolf Gang. Right. Snap that one back in. Whoops. Always going to happen. Whenever you are boxing up or taking things apart, you're always going to forget something. Now, these snap really good. I imagine they start to wear out, but one thing I've noticed when you pop the lid, depending how you pop it, these things pop out. So, you know, be careful. You might lose some pieces. All right, and then the 7 gems, the purple faction, the one that I guess me and Oddity will have to fight over because we both like purple. And there's no orange, so we have blue, tan, and green. Oh, I like all those colors. They all look pretty good. Because it's not your regular brown, your regular blue, your regular green. Like they're just a very unique color. All right, so we got our boss. We got Arnold here. Rothstein. It says lieutenant. Other lieutenant. Bodyguards. The underboss. Counselor. His bookkeeper. And his chauffeur. And I like the variety too. Like every single one of the cards are different. All the characters look different. Just so much variety in the art too. Because that's another thing that's disappointing is when you get a game and the art for the chauffeurs are all the same, or the art for all the whatever, right, is the exact same art. Having good art and having unique art definitely can help drive and sell a game and help with the immersion, right? Because I don't want to feel like I'm hiring John and his 17 brothers, twin brothers, to basically do something. I want to make sure that everybody I hire are unique individuals. So there's the first guy. Oh, okay, it's a Molotov cocktail. Okay, so that's kind of neat. Yeah, so it's just a rag. It's not on fire yet. Okay, well, that makes that easier to paint not being on fire. Then this guy with the shotgun, same thing. They drilled out the holes on these too. Again, either drilled out. I doubt they drilled it out because that'd be a lot of work. So just whatever they use or whoever they're using for their molding does a great job. I don't know if this is the same company that does Simon's minis, because again, I know Big Child Creative works a lot with Simon with the design and development of their minis sometimes. And then you got this guy here with his watch. Just that is insane detail there. That is just, I think these might be some of the best looking minis like I've got in a board game. Like they're just so detailed for being as small as they are. Then here is your boss. Who's the boss? Like that is insane. Like even here, look, like on his briefcase, you can see where like there's some paper sticking out. I think that's what that's supposed to be. Yeah, it's just paper sticking out of his briefcase. Yeah, it's a little paper there. That is just crazy. I was gonna look on the card art, but neither the card art nor the this art goes low enough to where you can see it. Maybe his player board might go low enough. All right, so we'll put all that in there. All right, so we got all those. All right, so these are, I believe, the player reference boards, which is nice whenever you get these. So yeah, so there's 4 of these. I don't know technically that I need that baggie. I left them in there, I don't know why. So it's got all of your player actions, your different game icons, how to carry out a raid, how to reorganize, what you can do on your turn, different orders that you can give to your people. Very nice. Love me some player aids. All right, so here's your player boards. So yeah, okay, so we do get the full art, so we'll be able to see if those were papers. Double layer, love double layer boards. Vehicles, lawyers, your boss level, and then there is the AI, so the solo mode or the add the AI to a multiplayer mode. So you got Al Capone, Dino Bannon. There you go, Arnold Rothstein. Yeah, so it's, I don't know if it's supposed to be paper or money, because it's green there. So I'm going to say it's money. So I guess when I paint it, it's going to be money. Then we've got good old Stephanie here is the last one. The boards are a little bit curved. So when you put them back in the box, usually the best thing that you want to do is do them every other way. But you can see they are a little bit. Now, two reasons. One, double layer boards do this. I've seen some games now that are doing cutout. And I like those just as much as a dual layer board because they work the same function and you don't have to worry about the warping. I've also seen other games, what they do is they make it a foldable board and then you can glue it if you want. Starship Captains I just got, it had little sticky things. So you just 1, 2, 3, 4 little sticky things and just do it like that, double-sided sticky tape. So that's something to look into. For me, it's humidity. I live in Florida. This was, of course, outside for a little bit, so it probably got a little bit of humidity. These are your player boards, I believe, for your headquarters, safe house, and slums. At start 6, kill. At start 2, hit. At start 4. I don't know what that means. Yeah, player boards. All right, these did move around. So again, I want to see how much everything can move around. So I don't have anything sleeved. I don't get the sleeves. I don't sleeve, although this is a deck building game. And I always say the only game I sleeve is a deck building game. I might be sleeving this. But there is additional room. You can see here. The light doesn't get down in there very well, but there's almost enough room. Like I could put those there. I can put this stack there. And I still technically have enough room. I don't think I'd be able to fit the raid cards there, but you do have that extra space to do that. Down here in the bottom underneath of the raid cards, which is again kind of hard to see because the way the lights, this box is a deep box, are your Elliot Ness's police cars. So it's got a little police thing on there. But look at, I mean, just look at those rims. Like that is bananas, guys. So you get 3 of those. I guess while we're down here talking about Ness, you do have Elliot Ness down here. So he's got his badge up saying, police, please. His pistol. I like the most of the stuff, like all the coats and a lot of stuff are very dynamic also in their pose. Again, flat bases. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, the only thing you'd be able to do on these bases, I think, is you would be able to do like a curb, right, and a street and maybe a grate. You really can't do much when it's a city style game, so I get that. Here's the first player ring. So this is gonna be fun to paint. I do have some pearl paints that might work really good on that. Little marker for the news track. Now down here is where I said I wasn't sure what went in there originally, and I had these up top. Because again, I packed those before I made it this far. But that's where all these little square tokens go. You just go in there. All right. Solo mode cards. So I don't know what these do, but solo mode cards. So these ones look like they do all have the same art. Or at least these. All the B's have the same art. Or all the C's have the same art. Yeah, all the B's have the same. Okay, so that's easy. So that way you can make sure that when you organize them, they have the same art. So these are all your B's, then all your A's. So let's see, we'll read this one. If the current district has, so this is +1, if the current district has at least one neighbor, neighborhood not controlled by the gang, which is the solo player moves as many henchmen and cars as fists, like maybe attacks in the district, and then 0, sees one neighborhood, 0. So I guess it's based on how many are in there. So if it's 1, it does this. If there's 0, then it just moves down the line. Haven't read the solo rules. but I imagine same thing here. If you wanted to sleeve these, you could, but if you want to consolidate space, you're not going to be able to do that because both of these stacks combined fill up that one side. So I'm going to have to see, because I've got the enforcers, I'm going to make them all go in here too, because I'm going to get rid of that box. Downsizing is a thing. I do plan to make some videos from some of my miniature games with some inserts and how I'm going to downsize them, because I can't have 4 boxes of Zombicide in 2 different versions, 4 boxes of Nemesis, 4 boxes. I mean, everything I got back behind me right now. So these are the raid cards. So you have Elliot Ness's raid. So Elliot Ness leads the raid again. Great art. What do you got here? 1,000 booze barrels smashed. First ward. All right. So some of these ones, the art is the same on these. But again, I'm not worried about that. I think it's, like I said, thematically when you're hiring people. So we'll look when we get to the that deck, if they're the same or if they're different. I do get it in a deck building game because somebody, I don't remember if they mentioned it in another comment or maybe I was in a BGG thread or something. Somebody had mentioned that in a deck building game, you want to be able to recognize the cards before you play them. And if they had different art on each one, it does make it a little bit harder. But I do know games that do that. For example, Star Realms does it, but they do have like 2 copies, 3 copies of some cards. So they do have the same art then. These are your news. So this one, the law gets reinforcements. Players must spend 2, I guess, gang members instead of 1 to carry out an order in the underworld. Plan against money laundering. When a player fulfills a job, they gain 5 money for each requirement met. So these are your events that occur. And then we're going to have a couple more there with the Paperboy. When we open him up, he's got a couple more. Dealers. So these are your dealers. So here's your alcohol supplier. Okay, so same art. So again, it's that way you know what this is. But again, it's good art. Gun supplier. So maybe the only one that has unique art might be the player decks. Distillery. Canadian smuggler. The winery owner. Rum runner. So I guess they were bringing up rum. I stand corrected. Cuban bootlegger. Well, there's only one of her, though. That's weird. Wonder if there's only supposed to be one. Armory owner. Gun runner. 3 of her. Irish revolutionary. Police captain. Army officer. So there's only one of those. Distillery again. Rum runner. Oh, okay. So this has different art, though. So how is that different? So hang on. We had a distillery. So maybe I got into the... Maybe I got into the Kickstarter cards. So let's see here. All right, so distillery owner, no, he's the same. He's just, for some reason, he was down there by himself. All right, so rum runner. Rum runner. Now, this one is different looking, so this is a different card. So maybe it's just different art. Yeah, 3/5, 3/5. Yeah, everything on them is the same, so it's just different art. So, okay. That's nice. Hideaway Bandits, I didn't see those, so that's new. So I think he's new. The Hideaway Bandits are new. Moonshiners, I don't remember seeing them. So good old West Virginia, where we moved from. Gun Traffickers and Gin Distiller. I'm thinking these were probably like the Kickstarter cards, which is why there's probably only one of each of them. These are your location tiles, I believe. So they have a day and a night mode, because the game can go from day to night. I don't know what they are, what they do, so I'm sorry. You just look at the pretty art. Subway, city streets, back alley, factories, and train station. No, there's a train above, but it's not a train station. And then, so the same scene, but at night. So those are cool looking. So I'm guessing these are the location you build, and then you put the token to say what type of business it is on these. And is this the last thing in here? Yeah, last thing in the box, and then we got to go through the expansions and get them in the box. So you got Moonshiner, Smuggler, Whiskey, Bootleggers. Trying to see if I can get a duplicate. Canadian Mobster, Rum Runners, So far, none of these are duplicates. He's captain, alderman. Candidates, I guess you're trying to get them on your payroll. Baseball manager, casino owner. All right, so none of these have been duplicates yet. Yeah, I don't see, none of these are duplicates. Okay, so they're all unique. Oh, hang on, street smug. No, I didn't have street muggers. I think I had smugglers, burglar, hijackers, teamsters, brothel, opium, street pimp, Gotham maidens, Chinatown, brothel owner, dominatrix, film producer, and the widow. No, so they're all unique. That is awesome. I like that. I like unique. I like variety. That's definitely going to make it different every play. All right, so put that there. So I'm thinking the only cards I would have to sleeve are going to be these ones, because these are the ones that are you buy for your deck. The other ones I don't think I would need to sleeve, but these are bigger than normal cards. So technically I don't even have sleeves that would fit these. I don't know what size these are. They're slightly bigger than playing card size. All right. And so we got the Paperboy. So he basically, the Paperboy, he's cosmetic. Basically, he replaces this, but unfortunately, he doesn't go into that spot. But same thing. Oh wow, they even put some detail on the paper to try to make it look like it's text. So that's great. A little bit of an indent. They didn't go too far on that one. They can't make it completely hollow. But yeah. So again, just a nice little upgrade piece. But again, so this is how they showed it in theirs, or like, you know, just toss them down here in the box. I have no problem doing that. I'm going to make a video about do you really need to protect your minis as much as people try to say, you know, that you have to. The jobs need to go up here so they keep the cars in place. And then here are his extra news cards. Or no. Okay, hang on. I got different cards. All right. So I've got these all not news. Are they different things? So these are all news. Oh, it's different languages. It said you get 3 new news cards. I'm like, well, this is way more than 3. Yeah, so you got the different languages. Okay. So that's German, French, Spanish. Yep. So we don't need those. I guess we could have them and then just have fun during the playthrough and be like, oh, we found us a newspaper from another country. So gang leader killed, gang boss gets 11 years, and World's Fair opens. So just 3 more news events that were exclusives. So that's trash. Don't need that. Don't need that. So the last thing are the enforcers, and there's plenty of room down in here to put them in. Again, unless you get sleeves, right? If you sleeve it or you got the sleeve pack, it's gonna be a little bit harder. But so here are your enforcers. So this is the enforcer pack. Standard mode, the enforcers expansion offers players the possibility of adding powerful enforcers to their gang. Alina Ivankova, Raven Kiwatkowski, and Tom Lee have arrived in Chicago and proved to deserve each of your Scarface 1920 games. So yeah, each one's a special character. There are special solo moves. They each have their own story. That's fun. I like the flavor text. It's something they didn't have to do, but it's nice that they did. Victory, special conditions. Alina wins the game automatically if she doesn't have any control marker or protection token in her play area. So she can win the game? Oh, that's the solo rules. So this is her rules for putting them into the solo game. Okay. Yeah, so each player can have one of the enforcers in their game in a standard mode. So you just add the enforcer card to your deck and then you get them as a figure. And then in solo mode, you actually play against them a little bit differently. All right, and then they have a victory condition. All right, so this is the packet that it comes in. Nice little thing that I'm gonna end up throwing away. You do have the rings. So these, of course, you'll need, which is why I said I'll probably paint. Ooh, they're squishy rings. paint all of the bases on the miniatures. So I'll probably make them this exact same color as these rings, not quite that color that they were, but they're squishy rings. So that's nice for, again, big child thinking about painters. I mean, it's different when you get a company that is making a game and they paint minis versus a company that's making a game that doesn't paint minis. You'll see a dramatic difference in the quality of the miniatures, right? Because they know, and they're going to take that extra time and effort to make sure that every detail is how a painter would look at that or be able to paint that. And then things like this, something as simple as a snap-on ring being rubber, so that way you don't damage your paint job. So here is Ivana as an enforcer. This guy, because I forgot his name. This guy, I forgot his name. Oh, there we go. So you got Alina. All right, and then these are these solo cards. Okay, so these are your solo. Whoop, let's do it this way. Solo cards, and then these are the ones that you can add to the deck. So we'll stick them down there. They do come with a bunch of cardboard tokens. I'm guessing one per each character is going to have their own thing. They will fit right there. And then the last thing we have is the minis. We'll have to figure out where they go. All right, so here's the first guy. So they are gray by default, of course. Now, of course, we're going to be painting them, so it will not stay gray for long. But again, just so dynamic. The collar, the ruffle, you know, the drilled out gun, as I kept saying. They're a little bit too big to be here because they will go over top that lip. However, since I'm not going to use solo mode, I will do this. Well, we might use solo mode. There we go. They will go down there just fine. There's the next one. There you go. So again, just, I mean, even here, like I'm looking under here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that angle, but like underneath, like the fingers and everything are just so detailed. They did a great job. I like him. He's cool. He's got two knives, ponytail going on. That's pretty cool. All right. And then I like her too. I mean, with the, she's got the dog going on. And just big old bat with spikes. Reminds me of Negan from The Walking Dead, right? That's just great. Let me see if I can get really close on like the dog's face. See if it'll focus. Focused on her. It's not wanting to focus on the dog. That is just tremendous detail. Yeah, so there's plenty of room to stick all those in there. I mean, there's technically I can throw everybody in there. Or, I mean, same thing. You can throw them all down in here. If I didn't want to put the cards, right, they would all go down there. I think something else, if you are worried about, technically, as I think about it, if you are worried about them being damaged, I saw on Board Game Geek, the one guy, he actually just cut this tray out. I think it's too big to go here. Otherwise, I would put it there. It might, I have to measure, it might fit here. So I might be able to cut that out and stick it there. Something I might try before I throw those away. But if you don't want to go through that effort, you do have this tray. Remember, that had all of the guns, and there weren't enough room for the guns. So you could stick them. All your extra guys right in there. And then snap on the lid. Oh, looks like one of them might be too tall. Yeah, it's a little bit, something in here is a little bit too tall. I was trying for you guys. I was going to try to prove whether it can or cannot be done. So yeah, one of the bases is a little bit too tall. I think it's this one here. So it's keeping it from closing. But I think they're fine down here. Let's put all of them down there. We'll just put the ring in here. The one ring. The one ring to rule them all. Nope, still too big. Wow, that's a thick ring. Just trying to figure out a way to put it so that way I can get my cards back in there. I guess the ring will just go down in the pile with everything else. Yeah, so I mean, you could do that and then just take these here. The only thing is nothing's going to be, well, there'll be a board here that'll keep those in place. But same thing, like I got a little bit of extra room here. It goes a little bit higher. But that's fine. That works there. That goes there. put these in there to kind of add some I was gonna say thickness, but it's not really add thickness. It's just to add a little bit of stuffing, a little padding. All right, so we got that there. Don't need these. These go back here. The boards, like I said, I'm gonna do one this way, one upside down, one this way, upside down. These here. Okay. And then, yeah, so then the rest was this. There. There. One, two, three. We got the board, the rulebooks for that. And the box lid. All right, there we go. That is Scarface 1920. If you guys want to watch our gameplay of this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you know when we schedule it and we go live. Probably soonest is going to be April. Our March is pretty packed. Plus I have to get the minis painted before we can play it. If you have an idea or something you think for painting the minis, or you have some other suggestions for this storage, let me know down in the comments. Until next time, guys. Peace.